Are you ready? I think was born ready.
Obviously, you're a little, aggravated by the line of questioning regarding Canelo.
I don't want to touch this, dirty, so bad, I don't want to touch his name.
I'm working on feeling the art of humbleness. Hey, you be with me, that's the reason why I'm crying, because I'm not that person anymore. And I miss him. But sometimes I feel like a bitch. I don't want that person to come out, because when he comes out, hell is coming with him. And it's not funny at all. It must sound cool, like I'm a tough guy. It's just I hate that I'm scared.
It would be awesome to, be being a great war, maybe with a Mexican.
Let's go! Wait, pop!
I have to put the joke.
No, hey.
Thank you for playing, man. I appreciate
Good
you.
timing, man.
Can't put predictions, man, but I definitely don't want to leave it to the judges.
Así mismo, buenas noches. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Thursday night pre-fight. Amazing weekend in boxing, ladies and gentlemen. As usual, we are Long Live Boxing EnVivo podcast. Como siempre, Manny Marrero.
Sean El Gringo Hicksa.
Hopper.
As you know, we always break it down like it is, like it should be. I appreciate you guys jumping up board. HCP Boxing Network going at it right now. On the other side, appreciate you guys' support. Great topics when it comes to boxing, and as well as us here at Brothers, we always like to break it down like it is, like it should be. Great weekend in where there is another huge Puerto Rican versus Mexican rivalry. Puerto Rico y México se vuelven a juntar otra vez en el cuadrilátero. Óyeme, y esta vez, mi gente, viernes. Y yo sé que muchos me han preguntado, pero tú usualmente consideras esta pelea que es grande, tiene mucha, it's got a lot of implications, a lot of stuff behind it in this fight. And one of the things, Sean, that, just to kind of hand things to you is people are asking, why is it a Friday? I mean, is this fight getting the credit that it deserves? I mean, we have a guy that it's about to build on his legacy. Not only he's in path to become a third division champion, and then we have another one that, has fought some of the best opposition at the 140, including Dirty Man, Josh Taylor. So why is it? Is it really hurting this fight? Is ESPN really damaging the fact that, hey, it's a big fight? I know it's in Fresno. It's in California. That's hometown of Ramirez. But why Friday?
Well, what I say is, why not? I'm actually happy it's Friday. My brother and Hopper and I are actually anti-stacking. So there's another big fight that we know with Chocolatito in the zone. I know it's not their concern against El Rey. So it is good. And, to have multiple fights available on the same night. But Friday night is a special night for boxing to me. A lot of local cards are usually done on Friday night fights back in the day. Shout out to ESPN. That is kind of their bread and butter. So for the fight to be on Friday is not a negative to me. It's a positive and one that I embrace. Now, in the second part of what you said, is the fight truly be recognized and pushed the way it should be? To me, it never really seems like the fights really are, unless it's, going to be, Tyson Fury involved. It seems like ESPN, for whatever reason, maybe it's Top Rank, maybe it's the combination. I'm not sure. But that's why we're on today, to talk about the fight that everybody should be talking about it. And it's definitely a good one. It's a hell of a matchup, and I'm definitely excited about it. I can't wait. And I think it is definitely low-key fire, as they say in the street. So I can't wait to get to it. Let's get to some quick comments real quick. Shout out to JC. Thanks for checking us out, man. Appreciate it. Boxing Republic in the house. Shout out to Nancy. Sonteo Miria. We appreciate you. And appreciate everybody tuning in. Also, if you're tuning in either on the YouTube, Facebook, or if you're going to be checking out on the audio version of this show. So quickly, I want to go to the tail of the tape for this fight when we have Jose Ramirez versus Pedraza, and then we'll get right into the meat of the action. We'll go around table, first to our brother Hopper, then Manny, then me, talk about our predictions, how we think it's going to go down, final thoughts, and just kind of go from there, man, because let's get to it. And to it, but to do it. So quickly, Pedraza, 29 wins, 3 losses. He's on a hot streak right now, 13 KOs, 0 draws, 32 bouts, 41% KO percentage, 5'9", 72-inch reach, Orthodox from Puerto Rico. He's 32 years old.
From where?
You can go ahead and say that he's in a hot streak right now. He just came off of being a really top performing prospect and looked really good doing it. Now, Jose Ramirez, now we're all fans of him. We definitely appreciate what he's done. He's 26 wins, 1 loss. The last fight he had was a loss in a undisputed
unification fight.
17
for all the marbles.
Right. And, 27 bouts total, 63% in the KO percentage, 5'10", 72-inch reach, Orthodox, and fights out of California. And he'll be having that quote-unquote home cooking, home field advantage. And, what I would say for me is I'm most excited for the standpoint of, I think it's not just who you fight, is when you fight them. And the fact that Pedraza, he's had some tough losses, but he hasn't lost to slouches at all. I mean, he lost to,
Tank,
Lomachenko, Zapata, and then,
Lomachenko,
of course. So, shout out to Lomachenko. And, there's no shame in any of those losses. And, he does kind of have a negative connotation as far as like, he's always a bridesmaid, but not always, going to be the man. But maybe things could change here. And we're going to talk about that and get into, down and dirty of what the thoughts are. But that's the tail of the tape. So what's your thoughts, Hopper?
Well, looking back on these guys' fights, man, I went back and watched both guys' last few fights, but I really wanted to focus in on a common opponent that they have, Jose Chon Cepeda. I know, Gringo, I know what you're thinking. You just know how stuff, blah, 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 whatever. Look, I just wanted to see it. I wanted to see it again and see how both of these guys measured up against him. But just some of the things that really impressed me about Sniper, he's a very mobile fighter. He doesn't stand there in the pocket. He's always bouncing around. He's moving around. So he's very, very active, very his footwork is great. He's always moving around. He's got a very sharp jab. That's 70-inch reach, but it looks longer, faster than that. And he's a switch hitter. He can fight orthodox. He can go southpaw on you. And his bread and butter punch, I think, in my opinion, is his right uppercut. That's the punch that kind of damaged Julian Rodriguez in his last fight, like in round 8, and that pretty much gave Sniper all the confidence in the world to walk him down. Now, in his fight against Cepeda, man, that 10-round fight was over in 6 rounds. Cepeda was pretty much in control of it from the onset. I don't think Sniper was his game plan, his plan A, his plan B was completely nullified by Cepeda. That just goes to credit to how Cepeda, how good he is in the 140-pound division. And when Jose Ramirez fought Cepeda, man, that's I enjoyed rewatching that fight. I forgot how good that fight was between both those guys. But Jose Ramirez was just a little sharper in that fight than Cepeda. Ramirez is a brilliant inside fighter. That's his bread and butter. He wants to fight on the inside. He's a pressure fighter. He's very physically strong. You do not want to be stuck on a corner or on the ropes against Jose Ramirez. And his bread and butter punch, of course, is the left hook. It's lethal. It's a very damaging punch, and his conditioning is world class. So that's pretty much my breakdown on both of these guys in terms of their strengths. And Mexico versus Puerto Rico, and another chapter in the rivalry, man. What else do you want on a Friday night? You definitely don't want to be double watching Chocolatito and El Rey.
No, man, you don't want to double dip that, man. I like my boxing separate. I like a lot of options, but honestly, I like to focus on one card and not just the main event, man, because I like to watch the entire card. So I'm definitely with you on that, brother. So you mentioned the common opponent against Chon and how they fought. Zapata is a tough customer, man. He's still, making things happen. But how do you see the fight playing out, though? Before we hear from my brother Manny, honestly, where they are in their careers, it's a tough loss that Jose Ramirez just came off of. Mentally, where do you think he's at, and how do you think he's going to respond?
Well, so you want me to go ahead and give my prediction for the fight, huh? Already putting me on the spot.
A little bit.
All right. Well, this is how I see the fight playing
out.
Wow,
already? You're into the show now, Sean?
That's what he wants. That's what he wants me to do. I'll do it.
Yeah. Viva la raza.
No, I just think after rewatching these guys' last few fights, and granted, Sniper has definitely fought some of the best guys. I think if you look at it, stack resumes on top of it, you can really make a good argument that Sniper has the better resume in terms of opponents. But
Oh,
overall,
wait a minute. Someone's
well, besides
acknowledging
Josh
right
Taylor,
now. Are you
no, just being
acknowledging right
legit,
now that
man.
Pedraza's got a better resume? Is that right? Am I hearing things right?
Hey, I mean, you got to call it for what it
Wow.
is. Even though
Damn. That
Ramirez is
wasn't what
Ramirez.
I heard.
Even though he
Episode
lost, even though he
6.
lost those fights,
Okay.
he
I
still,
like
he
that. I
still,
like it. I like you.
yeah.
I thought you were going to be a little bit meaner to
No,
me.
no, no, no.
I like
I
you.
mean, he's fought Tank, he's fought Lomachenko, he's fought
Yeah.
Cepeda. He's, you know,
Yeah.
you got to give him his
No.
props for that, even though he came up short, but still. But overall, though, I just think, I just think Ramirez is better punch for punch. If Sniper chooses to box, Ramirez is gonna outbox him. If he chooses to exchange, Ramirez is gonna damage him. Ramirez is better at range. He's definitely better on the inside. And look, you know, Sniper's as game as they come, disciplined, great trainer. But I think Ramirez is probably is gonna stop him. 10th round stoppage. And the reason I say that is because Sniper, when he switches to southpaw, he kind of does it. He struggles. He struggles bringing back his jab back up, and against somebody as sharp as Ramirez, that's not it's not very smart to do. I think Ramirez is going to counter that, come over the top of that lazy jab that sometimes he has a habit of throwing. So look for. I'm calling it a Ramirez stoppage, 10th round. Sniper's as game as they come. Mad respect to him, but I just think Ramirez is better overall, punch for punch.
Hey, brother, that's a fair assessment, man. So, you know, you got some key points in there and things that, you know, I agree with a lot of things you said, not completely everything, but, you know your stuff, brother. And that's why we love you. So, man, he's ready to chomp at the bit. I know I know he feels differently. He might feel
Sniper, first round knockout.
So, Manny, what's your thoughts, man, as far as going to this fight? So you mentioned about Friday to me. Is that are you good with that? I mean, what's your thoughts on the Friday? Do you see that kind of as an insult as far as like if it's not on a Saturday night, it's still not on the same level? Or what's your thoughts on as far as that question? Like, how do you see it? Because I see it as it helps the brother out because I get to see the fight Friday and I get to see the fight Saturday. But what's your thoughts? Yeah. So what's your thoughts on it? I mean, and then
I have no issues. I mean, take a look at back then, Friday Night Fights, by ESPN. So I'm glad they're bringing back. But the problem is that what I'm concerned more is about the audience part of it. A lot of people are not accustomed to seeing some of these fights, good fights. I don't want to say mega, but this is a very, very good fight with almost like it could have been a potential if it's built around a well card. Could have been a potential probably a pay-per-view on a Saturday night. That's my thing. And a lot of the fans out there, when they see a Magnum fight being built on a Saturday, even if it's not pay-per-view, they're like, "Whoa, they're fighting!" But now, oh, it's just Friday night fights. You know, who are they? You know, but not until you really get to know these two guys and what they're up for. And that's where I want to educate our public today. And I appreciate everyone shouting in it these are two great caliber guys. They're trying to build to their legacy. If you know what I'm talking about, you know, I'm glad that Hopper mentioned that because I had a different view of how he viewed Pedraza, according to previous shows. But you know, the reality is I believe that their resume is equally almost the same. I think that you know, Pedraza's resume early on, post 2017, is actually a little bit better. But the last 3-4 fights, you know, Ramirez has fought the best of the best at the junior welterweight, and that is including Josh Taylor, Postol, of course, Hooker, and Cepeda. You know, previously to that. So for me, it's an even fight. You know, what is in stake right now? It's an opportunity to go back again and become another world champion for Jose Carlos Ramirez, which is huge for him in his career and life. A guy that actually was considered the number one, and the guy that would rule the 140 pounds, and that would actually beat pretty easy Josh Taylor. And what is it in stake for Sniper Pedraza? The opportunity to become a ladies and gentlemen, 3 division champion. Come on, this kid comes from 130 pound, 135. I believe that Jose Carlos Ramirez has fought the majority of his fights. And trust me, I remember like today, the pro debut Jose Ramirez, it was Pacquiao versus Marquez Cuatro, and he was fighting a guy named Carl or something like that. He knocked him out in the first round. I was like, wow, this is pretty good. Just signed previously to that with Top Ranks. And I said to myself, wow, it's not that I fell in love with the kid, but I was like, wow, this is a great prospect that is actually bringing in some excitement in the top rank, you know, stable. And so within that, he became a world champion, undefeated, beat the best. And now you got Sniper Pedraza moving up in weight in where a lot of people didn't see any other opportunity. So there's times where boxers come in and they, and started to say, I don't want to picture, but I'll say it to you guys. You got to understand. Maurice Mohooker, he got where he needed to go, and that's the highest he's ever going to get. People thought the same thing about Sniper Pedraza, and I don't think so. And he has proven that in the last 3 rounds that he can still be that person that can give you problems down the stretch. Why? How? With that jab. And that's all he needs to do. My concern is right now 2 things. Number 1 is the power and the inside combinations that, he punches pretty hard. Ramirez is a freaking brawler. And if Pedraza can't really maintain the distance and push him back with the jab, you said it right. The uppercut, one of the things that Ramirez lacks in defending is some of those uppercuts. And you did see Josh Taylor, although Josh Taylor, it is a southpaw, and this guy can turn into a southpaw as well. That uppercut can do some damage. But my concern for Pedraza is he has that stamina to push him away. And I'm not saying running around or being able, because you can't do that with Ramirez, but maintain that stamina and keep adding some points into that. And I know, my friend, after the fight, when they're going to see Pedraza lifting up the hand on a split decision, he's going to be saying he ran away for the last 3 rounds. He did this, and that.
So typical Puerto Rican style, right? Typical Puerto Rican style. You get on the bike.
Because I can feel it. Can you guys feel it in the chat? Right? He's going to say he ran around. He was just like sprinting. He's doing a marathon.
Puerto Rican style. That's the Puerto Rican style of fighting.
Really? Oh, yeah, man. But listen, this is a great fight, man. And I was like, I wish this could be, on a Saturday, but that's fine. Friday night fights, 2 great warriors, tradition. Like Hopper said in our previous show, it is a good time to pop a cold one, grill out something, watch a pretty decent card, which if you ask me, you got some pretty good undercard guys, coming in. Gabriel Flores Jr., Hector Tanajara is actually coming back.
Tanajara, that's the comment
Joel
right there.
Gonzalez.
Nando Llamas. Good comment right there, man.
So when you think about this,
hopefully bounce back.
I know, but when you think about this is a great, exciting Friday. The positive on my end is that I'm going to wake up Saturday and I'm going to think it's Sunday, but it's actually Saturday. Getting ready. Getting ready for what? Getting ready for another big excitement fight, Chocolatito González. Así que ya saben mi decisión, mucho amor para la gente de Sidra, que está creciendo, poniendo el nombre de Puerto Rico en lo alto. Sidra Puerto Rico, Luis Espada, su entrenador, que mira, con Dios marcando siempre el paso, dando historia en esta batalla que van a tener mañana, y vamos a estar todos ahí en la expectativa de qué es lo que va a pasar. Y mucho amor para José Carlos. José Carlos siempre nos ha dado esa oportunidad de entrevistarte aquí en el programa. Agradecemos también, siempre te estamos echando porra, y para mí, pues mira, yo voy al mío, y el mío lo va a hacer José Sniper Pedraza. Es decisión dividida 7-5.
Okay. What you think about that, Gringo?
Ya lo dije.
Let me unmute myself first before I get defeated by the mute button again. Shout out to listening in, man. We got some comments I want to get to. Shout out to Nando Llamas. I'm excited to see a bunch of the guys' redemption journey. Ramirez, Pedraza, Joet, Flores, Tanajara, and Pedraza. So looking forward to that. I am as well too. I mean, it's a great card, man. Top to bottom. I think they got some good showcase talent, and I'm excited to see it. Shout out to our man Steven Ruiz doing big things, man. Do they make
una cerveza, bro? We got a beer going on, right? I got it.
Ramirez, haha. Just kidding, Manny. I'm excited for the good fight. Saludos. It's gonna be a good fight, man. But Steven has a point. All right, so keeping it going, Nando Llamas. Ramirez has gotten some razor close decisions go his ways. Zapata and Postal. Will Pedraza push through? That's what we're asking, today. And, it seems like we're kind of on the fence. Let me see if I can kind of be that deciding factor. And definitely put in the comments, if you're listening in, we appreciate you, what your thoughts are and who you think is going to win and how. We want to definitely read those comments and share what your thoughts are. And, shout out to El Capitan HCP Network. Should be a good fight. Absolutely. Man, knockout by Kenny. I got Ramirez winning this fight, and he's got the shrug shoulder. He's got the brother with the shrugs. That's me. I'm not sure half man, half disappointment, but I won't be disappointed about this fight. Nando Llamas got the punching gloves with the Puerto Rican flag before the Mexican flag. Maybe that's a homage to something he thinks is going to happen. Steven says, without hesitation, Ramirez TKO in the 10th round. He's very happy.
We got the same prediction.
We got to.
A cold one.
It's on.
This is how I think the fight is going to play out. So something I want to also acknowledge as well too is that where I agree and disagree with you guys on different things. One, I think that Pedraza is in a hot streak right now. I think he's in a good place. I like him at 140. He's looking really good. He was really impressive and crisp with the shots and using that jab on the outside. I don't think he'll actually be running. I think he'll be utilizing his jab, but he needs to stay on the inside. Now, if he gets on the inside, I do see Ramirez getting the advantage. Now, saying as far as who's the better boxer on the inside, hands down Ramirez. I think Pedraza on the outside can kind of control the action, but he does need to win those exchanges when he does go on the inside and not be quote unquote running, as my brother Hopper would say, and you really use his skill and his footwork and his ring IQ. He has been in some tough decisions and not fared, with getting the nod, and some cases he's actually even been stopped in the case of Tank. But I think in this case where he has to really be quick to take advantage of any opportunity as far as any of those exchanges, using that jab, and on the inside he has to be quick. And I think that one thing that you kind of touched on, Hopper, I think that Jose Ramirez is actually susceptible to the uppercut. I've seen that before against Maurice Hooker and other fights as well. I mean, Josh Taylor, of course. So I think Pedraza, if he can incorporate that, and then also going to the body. One thing that I've noticed that's helped Pedraza a lot is he's changing his levels a lot more. So I think by changing levels, that can kind of change things up. And, you can get into a situation where, let's just be honest, Jose Ramirez is coming off a loss, and a very devastating loss from the standpoint emotionally and what was the levity of the situation. So, how is he going to respond to that? So with that being said, how I see it playing out, because it seems like, he seems like he's, team Pedraza. I'm team boxing. But I do think that Ramirez is going to be able to dig deep, and I do see him pulling it out, knocking down Pedraza in the 10th round, but not knocking him out. I see that being the difference in the fight. 7-5, Jose Ramirez in a close, exciting fight with a lot of ins and outs. But I think that in the gas tank, that Jose Ramirez just has a little bit more, and I think that's where the advantage lies. For Pedraza, he's going to have to take some chances that I don't think he can take the risk, because I think Jose Ramirez is just too strong on the inside, and that's just my opinion. But I'd love to see what you guys think out there. What's your thoughts on that? Do you guys agree, disagree? Manny, what's your thoughts? You seem a little upset.
I kind of agree with you a little bit on that, but just to make a big point out here, Pedraza has never been that guy that's been just wanting to back up and run around the ring. He's not. He just needs to have, at his age, he needs to really build from the hype and keep that stamina and that consistency as it pertains to giving that jab and try to maintain separation to that. Pedraza may not have the power punching that Ramirez has, but he can definitely do some damage. And I think that when you're pushed away like a wall and you keep that jab in your face doing double combinations, I think that you're going to start seeing a more frustrated Ramirez trying to really make something out of nothing. And that's my expectation here on this fight. But anything can happen. I think that you're absolutely right. I think that maybe possibly with the punching power that Ramirez has, he can probably come in and pin him in the corner. Maybe can give him a couple of one. You'll see Pedraza moving away. And that's when, the second attack of Ramirez comes in, which is very, very dangerous. So, I am trusting the fact that these guys are training well. Listen to me, 11 fights. He's only lost one fight with Mexicans. He got 11 fights with Mexicans. That's Pedraza. And he's only lost to one. That is in Cepada. And so right now, Jose Carlos is about to fight his third. 2 fights with Puerto Ricans, beat them twice early in his career. He's going to go for his third one. And, I think it's going to be a very, very exciting one. There's nothing else after this fight for Sniper Pedraza. If he loses, he can continue on with a great career. But other than that, an opportunity for world champion, that will kind of fade away. So I think these guys are going to kill themselves in the ring. When I still they'll kill themselves. They're going to give it all. And they're going to give us excitement on a Friday freaking night. Óyeme, Boricua, EnVivo.
Man, I love that. I love the passion. Speaking of passion, Knockout Kenny, man, bringing it. That brother brings it, man. I think Ramirez has a shorter, more powerful, cleaner punches on the short distance. Pedraza's hook are too wide. That's a good point, man. They are short distances, and that where he likes to fight. Where he likes to fight is also kind of what creates problems for him. Great point, knockouts by Kenny, man. He's bringing it all the time. Rumors, there's a winner gets a short or a shot. Sorry, again, my dyslexia kicking in. Shout out to me at the WBC title. Yeah, I've heard that as well.
Is it Taylor or is it
Josh Taylor said he's going to move up.
So is it a vacated title?
He says he's going to move up because he was saying in an interview that if Catterall wants a rematch, it's going to have to be at 147 pounds.
I think right now, to going too ahead of the game, but I think right now there's just a lot. If Taylor actually moves up, there are probably going to be, others who are probably going to contend for that WBC. And I think right now on the WBO, that could definitely be a great matchup, for either of these guys to actually contend for any of those guys and become a world champion. So I'm saying right now, the winner of this fight will definitely fight for a belt and will definitely become a champion if those belts are vacated, which in fact you said that point. You said right now.
So it looks like knocked out by Kenny. It looks like we have pretty much the same analysis on the fights in terms of the insight game.
Yeah, definitely. So another great comment from our man, HTP, Knockouts by Kenny, also appearing on Mano y Mano and his own show, Knockout by Kenny. I believe it's on volume 10, I believe. Kenny, correct me if I'm wrong. Please don't be mad at me, brother. I'm not a good
him,
or anything. He could be mad. If Pedraza stays on the inside, Mars is going to be hurting him and landing cleaner shots.
Yeah, that's Ramirez style. You got to do that. You got to do that. And the problem is we haven't seen Ramirez lately doing that. And you guys can disagree with me. And I doubt it, but Ramirez hasn't been able to do that in the last few fights.
I disagree. That's automatic. Mine's automatic.
No, it is, but he hasn't been able to capitalize.
No, if you look at I went back. I remember, like I said, I went back and taking a look at about some of these.
But what happened to Taylor then?
That's what I'm saying.
Even with Postol, that was a very close decision. We're on a very bad fight. It was a bad fight.
This leads to my point. I think a lot of people forget how well Jose Ramirez was performing in that fight. Like if you go back and rewatch it, though, against Josh Taylor, like you go back and you look at it, and when I rewatched it. It was easy to forget that how well Jose Ramirez was doing in that fight, especially in the early rounds. He landed that left hook to Josh Taylor's body in the first round, and he felt that. And so it's easy to forget how good Ramirez did in that fight because he lost, in hindsight and so on. But I think the some of the commenters, people commenting 10th round is it seems to be the leader in the ball house, and that's what I said earlier. And that's what I said earlier. I think Ramirez is probably going to catch it.
Salud, Ramirez.
All right, so
I just think Pedraza, every time Pedraza has stepped up, he's lost. And Jose Ramirez is not.
What do you mean stepped up? Stepped up in what sense?
Title belt.
Lomachenko, he lost against Tank. He lost against.
That's okay, but he lost against Tank. Who's Tank right now?
These are elite guys.
Who's Lomachenko now? So you got, it's just, it was no way to beat them. And I can guarantee you that Jose Carlos Ramirez would have not beat those guys either.
All right, let's get to these comments real quick. And then what I want to do a little something is I want you guys to give your thoughts on how the person you don't think is going to win could possibly win and get a little bit of insight. Then we'll give final thoughts. So HLD, shout out to you, brother. Pedraza looked like the healthier, stronger fighter at the weigh-in. Ramirez looked drained. Yeah. Pedraza is a different fighter at 140.
I don't know. There's something going on.
I have been saying that. And that's a great point. We don't want to overstate, or they can't understate that as well, too. We saw that with Josh Taylor saying that he's Catterall. So shout out to man G Funky HCP in the house, black sheep of the HCP. What's good? Long live boxing, HCP. Well, just talking boxing, brother. Talking about that great fight on Friday night. We're looking forward to it. So let's go with my man because he's been doing some deep recon research. Now we know that you're big on Ramirez and Ramirez can win, but you also have a lot of respect for our brother from another mother, Pedraza. How could Pedraza actually pull off the upset and get the win in your mind? Is it even possible?
Well, no, of course it's possible. It's definitely possible. It's boxing. Anything can happen.
It's the week of the upsets too. I mean, a lot of upsets. Am I right?
That was last weekend.
It's a week of upsets. It's
everything goes back to normal this week, Manny.
So. Okay, back to normal.
It's reality week, Manny. Nice try, brother.
Yeah, how you guys doing?
What's up, Bo?
Hey, what's up? Let's get it started.
How you doing?
So
Well, it's gonna take quite a bit for Sniper to win this fight. I think, like I mentioned earlier, I think Jose Ramirez is just better punch for punch. If he wants to box on the outside, Ramirez is gonna win that. If he wants to box, he's not gonna fight on the inside because Ramirez will definitely beat him up in there. You know, anything he doesn't want to get caught on the ropes, doesn't want to get caught in the corner. But the bread and butter punch that Sniper's gonna have to land is that uppercut. If he wants to have any kind of chance in this fight, take a page out of Josh Taylor. You know how Josh Taylor is very, as some people would say, crafty,
dirty
in the clinches. He's gonna have to take a page out of that because Ramirez, one of his weaknesses, and it's been self-admittedly in one of these prior interview, he's too nice. He's a little too nice. And Robert Garcia is talking about how they want to bring the dog out of him. There's an interview came out in the Josh Taylor fight. Actually, they showed that piece where they admitted themselves that Jose Ramirez sometimes is a little too nice. And what happened in that Ramirez fight, in the Taylor fight, Ramirez thought the ref was going to break him apart, and they didn't. He let his guard down. What happened? Uppercut, dropped him, suffered his knockdown. Pedraza is going to have to take a page out of Taylor's book if he wants to win against Ramirez because trying to box him, trying to outslug him is not going to work for him. He's going to have to rough it up, do some things he's not comfortable doing because Pedraza is not that kind of a fighter. And that's the only way I see Pedraza even having a chance at this fight is roughing it up and trying to get close at clinching and then pull in a Josh Taylor. That's probably his best recipe.
He's not a dirty guy. He's just gonna need to start. He needs to do it his own way.
In this fight,
not in that fight. He can get over his head, but they're both nice. Keep that in mind. They're both gentlemen. You can see the picture behind me.
Taylor
what's
is
happening outside the ring over there in Ukraine. That's really good to see two guys like that. Sorry, two guys like that. It's great to see that. Coming in unity on that. That's the thing, though. They're both too nice. They're both guys. They're not going to push each other in the press conference. They're not going to build up a hype. They haven't done it, and they're not going to do it over there. So with that, it's a lot against them.
No, and to your point, one of the fights where we all experienced together in Arlington, where it was Jose Ramirez versus Hooker. They were like brothers, hugging each other and talking, sharing pictures with their family, and one of the most brutal fights I had ever seen. So I could potentially see that. Now, I do agree with my brother Hopper that Pedraza is going to have to show that crafty side to go ahead and get those intangibles to get that difference, to get that edge and on the clinches and, when he's holding and when he's getting him inside to get the advantage and definitely utilize that hook. Now, Manny, before we go ahead and get to final thoughts, what does Jose Ramirez and, several people have already stated, but what does Jose Ramirez need to do to beat Pedraza and, make it an easy night for Team Ramirez? What do you think he needs to do?
He needs to be aggressive. And he needs to be that kind of guy that I did see with Imar Iman. He needs to be that kind of guy that we did see with Maurice Hooker. That, listen to me. One of the press conferences that we witnessed in when he fought Maurice Mo Hooker, the next day, which it was the weigh-in, Jose Carlos Ramirez did not talk to anyone. Did not. I mean, after the weigh-in, and I get it. They dehydrated. They're trying to get back into the, they're cranky, right? They went straight to the room. It is game face night. When he came out of that locker room, we were there. We're taking pictures. We're taking videos, and we did see he's like mean face. He's like game face. I am ready. That's what we need to see from Ramirez to be able to capitalize and stay consistent at that. There's no doubt about that. The crowd around it, they're going to be rooting for who? For Ramirez. That is his backyard. 100%. Utilize that to the advantage. Take a hit on that, and guess what? Be smart on your punches, but at the same time, you got to be able to capitalize and keep that consistency in the punches. Ramirez seems to be a little whack at times when he's got him pinned in the ropes. Sniper's got a lot of experience moving around. He's got great footwork. And I tell you what, in terms of Sniper, that could be something to his advantage in where if Ramirez not capitalizing where he's good at, now Sniper, it's going to be ready for that consistency he always has. Driving in that jab, being smart, and being able to counter when needed. And that's pretty much in stake to that. But, man, I'm loving it. Ramirez is just such an amazing guy. Both are. And I just wish we were there. But we can feel the vibe and the energy throughout social media. Sniper fans, Ramirez fans. It's like, man, this fight is a must watch. And I think we're definitely going to enjoy it for a potential candidate, I would say, for a fight of the year. I just don't see it as a knockout, Sean. And the reason why is the last few fights of Ramirez, he hasn't been there. And I am very concerned about the fact that does he really want to continue to box? Is boxing still in him? Is he hungry enough right now to be able to capture another world title? Is that the case?
I would say definitely, yeah. I mean, it's a disappointing loss, I'm sure, but also too, sometimes those mental demons, they don't get vanquished, until after the fight. He still may be carrying some of that burden, but it depends on how he utilizes it. He could use it to kind of like hinder him from moving forward and reaching his potential, or he can use it as a way to kind of burn his fire and just kind of run through and see the best version of Jose Ramirez. And that's another thing too. I hold them both in a high regard and respect them as good quality fighters.
Absolutely.
But honestly, to me, and I kind of saw a comment about leave town, but I would like to see those guys go to the next level. And so I think this is the classic eliminator to me. I know it's for an interim title or for a title, but to me, it's more than that. It is an opportunity for them to kind of go to that next level for both guys. That's kind of where I see it at. So let me get to these comments real quick, and then we'll go to quick final thoughts. So,
no way. Saludo, papi. No, I'm not.
I did lose track where I was. Okay, so shout out to Puerto Rican Rum, man. Always checking out our shows. Much love. I think Teofimo should fight Jose Vargas.
Not a bad idea at all.
Both from New York City. Both are seeking redemption. Puts MSG easy.
Who wins that fight? Quick. Who wins that fight? Quick.
Oh, Teofimo, no doubt.
Manny.
Teofimo.
Yeah. Come on, definitely. All right, so let me see. Nando Yama says Pedraza needs to control the pace and avoid the fire.
Absolutely.
That's gonna be easier said than done, brother. But I do agree with you. Ramirez likes it hot and heavy. Me too, brother. That's how I like my ladies.
That's how Gringo likes it. My burritos, hot and heavy.
And my burritos. I like them hot and heavy. For my ladies. All right, so shout out to me and burritos.
Yeah, there you go.
Isn't a dirty fighter, both are gentlemen.
This is gentlemen.
I wouldn't mind if they go in there and it gets to be like just, man, who are these guys? Like it gets dirty.
I would love it. That would be great.
Bother you? I mean, you're like, whoa, man, this is not what I'm used to.
No, it would be great, but it's just their personality will not allow it to happen. That's the thing.
That's true.
There's respect outside. It's called being a gentleman.
Yeah, which I'm not. Pedraza is a slick, herky-jerky fighter with the weird angles, which Ramirez will have tons of trouble with.
Exactly.
Not a wash Ramirez. Man, great comment there.
It's not because that's the kind of fighter that Pedraza is. I was a little different in my description of it, but he's a very mobile fighter. I call him a very mobile fighter. He's always active, always bouncing around. He's always, jumping around. His footwork is never pictures. Loser leaves town fight. Oh
yeah. Loser leaves town. But comes back and fights for another day because again, either way, these guys are going to make some noise. And for me, I still would want to, depending on how it goes, either way, I'm excited to see how these guys' careers move forward. I mean, I did pick Ramirez, but again, my opinion on Jose Pedraza is still high, and I think he's in a good place right now, and I love him at 140. So got another HCP Boxing Network. Ramirez versus Pedraza might be fight of the year. Man, I love that. And think about it. On the weekend that we have,
this guy's smart.
Tito versus El Rey. Shout out to El Capitan with a bold prediction there. We'll go ahead and write down his prediction. You got it locked and loaded right there. Nando Llamas, must-watch fans, must win for both fighters. Love it. Man, Noe G in the house. Manny's already making excuses for Pedraza.
I was asked what Ramirez need to do to be victorious, right? But I'm still sticking to my good unanimous decision. That will be Pedraza.
There you go. All right. HLD, it's also do or die for Gabe Flores tomorrow night. Also, ours going against the puncher, who's only 2 losses, are both close decisions. Also, HLD says.
Well, actually, split. I say unanimous. Split. I'm sorry. Split. I want to maintain neutral split.
Yeah.
As long as rehab and go from
pro debut of Richard Torres tomorrow too.
Yeah.
Shout out to Gorditas. Absolutely.
Shout out to Las Gorditas.
Absolutely, man.
Gringo.
Man, great fight. Pedraza is actually a really good boxer. See how Noe G knows how to do it. He pimps
the shot first.
He pokes the brain and then he smooths it out. You're
supposed to do it the other way though. No, you're supposed to hide.
What I mean?
Build them up and then shoot them down.
All right. So
when you talk about what do I say? When you talk about true big people's champion, You talk about the personality of a Tito Trinidad, right? There's no way to replicate that. But I can guarantee you, if this kid ever makes it the 3 division champion, he will surpass in terms of favoritism, even over Cotto, because he's likable and people like him. And that's why you have a lot of people still rooting for him. They've always done.
No, and that matters, man. And that's a great point that you brought up, because I know, and that's me trying to understand better, because we have a great support from our Puerto Rican fight fans. We much love and support to them. How people are kind of perceived from the island and that whole thing. How's Pedraza perceived? I gotta be honest.
It's good. I mean, he's good. He's done something that more than what half of the boxers have done. He will be talked about in the future. I think he will be eventually in the Hall of Fame, 2 division champion. He has a possibility to be 3. You just don't. It's not by coincidence. And yes, you can be placed on the right time at the like a lot of people talk about it when he beat that 135 pounds. It's like hey, but that's what happens sometimes. You're in for an opportunity. You win championship against someone that has the title, but you also feel like some of these guys that win a belt because it vacated. So when you look at the trajectory and both belts that he actually won, he beat someone that was a champion. It wasn't a vacated title. Ramirez, great, he was a champion, but that was a vacated title. 1 and 2 going at it, great. But then you did see Ramirez stepping up in opposition and building into the resume, making him not only a likable guy outside the ring, but also inside the ring.
No, good stuff, brother. So
I mean, when he won the IBO boxing title, it was vacant. Sniper against Alberto Garza.
Not the which one?
That was
that Alberto Garza had it. It
Yeah.
wasn't vacated. Yeah. And then he beat Andre Kilman.
No, it was vacant. It was a vacant IBO, if I'm not
No,
mistaken.
I'm sorry. The IBF was vacant. The IBF, not the IBF.
was
IBF. Okay.
no, the
Take it back.
IBF.
Take it back. Yeah.
still
But
impressive.
still, that doesn't take
Still
away
impressive,
from the
though.
fact,
Still impressive.
but that doesn't take away from the
Man, I
fact
don't have
that
any
still,
bacon titles.
although you have, I know, right, bacon buckets. Although you have had that opportunity to say, hey, listen, 2 division champion, I'm still fighting the best, and then on a much bigger, stronger division. Come on, come on, guys. This fight has to be up in like numbers like crazy when it comes to Saturday. This is a fight
Clean
that
break.
it's man.
Absolutely, man. So let's go ahead and close things out, man. Thanks for everybody tuning in. But I would like final thoughts from everyone. First, from our brother Hopper, then Manny, and then we'll give our final shout out to everyone. So Hopper, you have the floor. Final thoughts, brother, going into the fight, just going into the weekend in general, man, and going into April, man. God damn, boxing, get ready. Sign me up.
Final thought.
The quinceañera card, all that. What's up? Oh yeah.
That's Jose Ramirez. This corrido. Chu Junior. Soy Jose de Avenal. Jose Ramirez. So, hey, this is your time to get back to where you belong, Jose Ramirez. You got a very tough opponent in you. Sniper Pedraza. It's going to be a great fight. Another chapter in Mexico versus Puerto Rico. What more do you want on a Friday night? And then you got to follow that up with the Saturday night special in Chocolatito en el Rey. Another Mexicano in the mix. Yo, sign me up, man. And keep a close eye on the undercard as well. Like I mentioned earlier, Richard Torres is making his pro debut. The Olympian Hector Tanajara from San Antonio. Richard Torres from Houston, actually, right? And then Joel Gonzalez against Geo Santissima, Gabriel Flores, Abraham Montoya. I mean, these guys, we got some low-key good fights tomorrow, and it's on a Friday night, man. So the only thing that sucks is that I have to work Saturday. So otherwise, I'd go all out. But Nando Llamas says Ramirez by controversial split decision.
Puro Chile.
Decision.
Oh, yeah.
So, no, locked and loaded boxing fans. This is the kind of weekend for the hardcore boxing fans that we get to enjoy it. A great fight Friday night, a great fight Saturday night, and we got to talk about it Sunday. So keep it locked and loaded here, Long Live Boxing. We'll be chopping it up. Great fights.
Absolutely, man. Again, we do appreciate the comments. And G Funky, I believe it's what is rum and coke?
Jack and Coke.
Jack and Coke. My bad.
Jack and Coke.
Jack and Coke. the drink of winners. Speaking of winners, final thoughts, man. What's your thoughts?
Man, listen, we are in need of excitement right now. We are in need of distraction. We are in need of separating what's happening in the crazy world and try to deviate ourselves from the madness and the chaos from a brutal, disgusting war. Um, a lot of people suffering, a lot of people, trying to fled away and being able to stay safe and stay alive. I don't think we've seen the worst. And I think we need to continue to unite ourselves in prayers and in hope that something out of this world only God can actually do and is stop this damn injustice and war from these dictators that are actually ruining people's lives, kids, young, talented individuals, including boxers, right? They're in there fighting a war that they know they're not going to win. But at the same time, we have excitement, which is great. And it's a topic that I want to let you guys know that we have that opportunity to part ways. The war is not going to go away for a while, right? But we do have a couple of days in which we can distract ourselves. Friday night is added. A war outside the ring with the fans for Puerto Rican fans, also as well for Mexican fans. Make it interesting, but stay calm. It's not to be escalated between each other. This is just a sport. But inside the ring, I can guarantee you we're going to see bombs away. And then here comes Saturday. My friend, my buddy, my brother Hopper just mentioned what's up in stake. I can't wait to break it down on Sunday when the bell rings on Friday night. And still,
Oh man,
the number one WBO junior welterweight contender. That's what's going to happen. That will be Jose Sniper Pedraza de Sidra, Puerto Rico. EnVivo.
Hey, how you guys doing?
man, that's what I call a speech. Shout out to Bo, man, for tuning in, man. We love you, brother. And yeah, we'll start the interview all over again. Why not? But yeah, what I'll go ahead and say is, man, thank you guys for checking us out and checking us into your lives and listening to what we have to say. We love boxing and we love taking time to talk about this sweet science. And it is an exciting weekend. Friday, you got this great action with Ramirez, Pedraza. Check it out, man. You will not be disappointed. What a fun card with a lot of loaded young talent, up and coming guys, and guys that are making a name and a statement. So you definitely want to check them out. And then, of course, Saturday, what an unbelievable matchup. 115, the best division in boxing right now, and we're definitely excited about that. But I just want to send a shout out to everyone that tuned in. Everybody from HCP, Lion Killer, Chicano Prophet, Knockout by Kenny, everybody, Nando Llamas, everybody, man, HLD, just on and on, man. Much love and respect, and truly appreciate that. Can't thank you guys enough, man. It's saludos for real, man. It's truly a pleasure and honor.
Your support is extremely important, and I know you guys struggle, and we all in the same struggle, and that's why we're supporting ourselves. New talents coming in, women crushing it on Wednesday. Wow, what an amazing show yesterday! So there's a full package with the HCP network that we're thrilled and excited to be part of it. So thank you guys for tuning in today, and being able to support.
Absolutely, man. And irregardless of whoever wins, we know that if Pedraza does somehow win, man, he's going to do the drunkest live ever. So make sure you tune in and subscribe.
Emotional, damn it.
Will be.
I'll be busy Sunday if that happens.
Oh my God.
You won't talk to us on Saturday.
I'll holler at you next week.
He's going to keep on repeating himself, but he's going to be fired up each and every single time. So get ready for that. So if there is Either or, he'll be excited, but don't let him fool you. He's playing nice right now. If Pedraza wins, he's going to lose his fucking mind. I just want you guys to know that and make that official. But no, seriously,
if Ramirez win, I'll be cool about it, right?
Cool, but not you won't. You won't lose your mind. You'll pretend.
I will not, but I will like coulda, shoulda. Whoops. I mean, but why? But still, I'll be cool.
No, there's a difference between cool and crazy. If Pedraza wins, you're going to lose your mind. We're never going to hear the end of it. He'll be.
I'm not gonna comment anything in our chat, Hopper, either. He's gonna be so fucked up and drunk. It's gonna be annoying, right, Hopper? Yeah, there you go.
I'll probably still be up. I'll probably be up from Saturday night. I probably won't even be asleep yet.
No, but seriously, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. And for those that are loving and follow Real Boxing Talk, love us, hate us, debate us. HCP is where you want to be. They got the great Real Boxing Talk all the time. Great shows, great content all the time to check out, man. So we appreciate you guys for tuning us in. Thanks for this late night special. And like I said, if Pedraza wins, Drunk Live by Manny. Get ready for it, and it's on the way. Get ready.
Sunday in the morning.
It's Maestro A. It's Kenny T. I'm back in New York City after a weekend in Las Vegas.
When we got Power Punchers episode 2, episode dos. Hit that like button as you come in.
Your boy Dave from the 408 coming to you all the way from my podcast studio in San Jose, Califas. You know what time it is. It's time for the shoe shine.
Everyone, welcome to Al Chile. We got my partners in crime, Run PMC and Nopal with us and visiting us for the first time. Al Chile means keeping it
style real. Boxing. Thanks to those joining me live. Those that be joining me here on Archive. I've been joined by the new co-host of ATP, Nancy, from the Boxing Republic.
It's my birthday, and then obviously, Red says to me, these are my girls. You have to make sure you do the interview for them. I said, you know what? Even though it's my birthday, we'll do it. No problem.
Oh, you're amazing.
So
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All-star panel, the round table, number 58. Really good weekend.
Seguimos en vivo. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Como siempre, Mari Marrero.
Sean El Gringo Hicksa.
Hopper.
Hey.
Always breaking it down like it is, like it should.
Welcome to the Ringside Reporters Show, where we talk about the latest boxing news. If it's related to boxing, we're going to talk about it right here. My name is Eric Lorta, and I'm here with my co-host, Joe Habib.